All praise to Yahweh, Bashim Ashai, Bashim HaKadesh. Double honor to the Apostle Elder Great Noso that taught me this 100% truth to rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there pushing the truth in all sincerity, or the highways and byways and wishing their lives to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered on the four corners of earth that believe in the truth, Yahweh, Bashim Ashai. Shalom. So this is second Esdras 13 and 39, which reads, And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through the country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. Yeah, so this land of what they call so-called America today, you know what I'm saying, name was Arsareth, and this is the land that was appointed unto the northern, the northern tribe, the northern kingdom of the nation of Israel after their Assyrian captivity. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shem Shai appointed this land unto them, and you know, the and in in order for them to get here, the Lord, He calmed the waters because the waters were rough. You know what I'm saying? That's why it says that when no mankind dwelleth. You know what I'm saying? Because this land was occupied because the Lord had already reserved this land, preordained for the northern kingdom to come over here after their Assyrian captivity. So He calmed the waters. You know what I'm saying? To allow them to pass, and it took them a year and a half to get here. You know, so this land was appointed unto them. It was given to them by Yahweh Shema Shai. And, um, this devil, Cristobal Colombo, you know what I'm saying? Was his true name. He knew this, he knew that, um, whether, that there were Hebrews that, occupied this land, in the Western world, you know what I'm saying? And, he came here in order to, to take it over because, you know, Esau Edom, he comes up with his own, uh, you know, narrative or doctrine saying that, you know, this land, he discovered the land and whatnot. But how can you discover something that was already discovered? People already occupied. You know what I'm saying? Like before the Northern Kingdom got here, the so-called, who today refer to as so-called Native Americans and Latinos. You know what I'm saying? They were already occupying the land because the Lord had ordained it to them. You know what I'm saying? They were already here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody dwelt in this land prior to them. Nobody actually lived on the land. You know. So this devil Cristobal Colombo, he read you know the scriptures. He knew about second Esdras. You know what I'm saying? And he discovered and he knew that the Hebrews were over here. You know what I'm saying? And he was coming over here, you know, to, to get back his blessing because Esau Edom, you know what I'm saying, they want their blessing back. And the Lord, put the spirit on him and allowed him to come over here, you know what I'm saying, to conquer this land because, that's part of our punishment because, so-called America today is, where, the last captivity of the nation of Israel is to be held. You know what I'm saying? So this land was created as a prison sentence unto us, and to raise this devil up and put him in power, and to let him have his way within the nation of Israel, in these last days before the Lord take him out. So you know we're just here serving a prison sentence. You know what I'm saying? That was been appointed up by Yahweh Shem Shai, for us going off as a people. And He chose Esau Edom, to be the whipping stick unto us, to serve out this punishment. And that's why the Lord, put the spirit on Cristobal Colombo to come over here and overtake this land. You know what I'm saying? Because he helped bring in and fulfill prophecy. And this is why he brought a Hebrew interpreter, a Jake, with him to talk and communicate with the Hebrews that were already here. And this is the name of the translator that he brought with him, Luis del Torres. As says Luis del Torres, he died in 1493, was Christopher Columbus or Cristobal Colombo interpreter on the first voyage to America. Which the scriptures refer to as Arsareth. This devil, uh, name lands after his own name. So it reads Del Torres was a converso, apparently born Yusuf ben Helvari, chosen by Columbus for his knowledge of Hebrew, Chaldaic, and Arabic after arriving at Cuba, which he supposed to be the Asian coast. Columbus sent Del Torres and the sailor Rodrigo del Juarez on an expedition inland on November 2nd, 1492. Their task was to explore the country, contact its rulers, and gather information about the Asian empire described by Marco Polo as the Great Khan. The two men were received with great honors in a village. In return, 4 days later, they reported on the native customs of drying leaves, inserting them in cane pipes, burning them, and inhaling the smoke, a reference to use of tobacco. When Columbus set off for Spain on January 4th, 1493, Luis del Toro was among the 39 men who stayed behind at the settlement of the Navidad, founded on the island of Hispaniola. Coming back by the end of the year, Columbus learned the whole garrison had been wiped out by the eternal strife and by Indian attack. And so-called Native American Indians are Israelites. You know what I'm saying? But this is the byword that Esau Edom had gave into us. So this goes to show that this devil, he knew, you know what I'm saying, that of this land, and like I said, the Lord put the spirit on him to come over here, because the Lord has, raising Esau Edom up, in the revival of the Roman Empire, in order to fulfill prophecy. And he came over to this land in order to, take us captives, for our last captivity before the Lord, come and rescue us from the hands of this devil. And we're currently serving out our prison sentence here in this land, what they call so-called America. This is Revelation 6 and 8, which reads, "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." Yeah, and this is Esau Edom. The Lord gave him power over the fourth part of the earth, which is the Western world, and he gave him, he came to kill with the sword, because as he took the northern kingdom by force with the sword. And he came with hunger, because he's he stole, their land and their resources and their crops, and uh, forced them into you know um, starvation and warring with them, and he brought death. You know what I'm saying? Because he did mass killings with his sword, and also you know he brought death dealing with his smallpox. You know what I'm saying? He put him in, wrapped him up in blankets because the Northern Kingdom, they wasn't used to the illnesses that this devil had. You know what I'm saying? So this devil brought death with him when he brought his smallpox, and he wrapped in blankets around the natives, you know the Northern Kingdom Israelites, putting them to death. You know what I'm saying? And he also, he brought us from the west coast of Africa, the Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negroes, and he brought us from the, doing the slave trade from the west coast of Africa, and brought us into the same captivity, because this is the time that the Lord has appointed for us to serve that, this last captivity together. So this Esau Edom is death, and he brought hell with him because he put us in a hellish condition, when he came into this land. And when you Google fourth part of the earth, what comes up? It says an astonishing epic of global discovery, imperial emanation, and the birth of America, the the fourth part of the world. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that this all has been appointed by Yahweh Shema Shai. You know what I'm saying? It's all prophecy. You know, what's the testimony of Yahweh Shai? The spirit of prophecy. So you know, it was preordained for this devil to come into this land and you know take the natives captives and also bring us in the west coast of Africa in slave trade and bring us into this land and have us captives as well. You know, and as Revelation 6 and 8 shows you, it says the fourth part of the earth, and this is part of the new world, which he said that he discovered, which is a lie, but he came over here with the intent to, what I'm saying, he already knew what this place was. He came over here with the intent to come and conquer it, you know. But he gave you his version because that's what they do, in his in because this is the place that where he created his own doctrine. You know what I'm saying? And he indoctrinates you and tells you his version of what's to take place. That he discovered a place, but then it don't add up because how can you discover something that was already occupied? That don't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying? But now the Lord has raised up men, in these last days to bring out this truth, to expose the son of perdition for who he is. You know what I'm saying? And he's being exposed. And he hates the fact that he's being exposed. That's why he gives strikes to brother channels and comes down holding them to prevent this truth from coming out because he's being exposed. But ain't nothing he could do because it's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. And the Lord, this is the Lord's doing. The Lord is exposing this devil for who he is. More on this is the fourth part of the earth. It says the fourth part of the world, the race to the ends of the earth, and the epic story of the map that gave America its name. Yeah, see, it's to the ends of the earth, man. This is the fourth part of the earth where this devil dwelt. That he came to conquer the nation of Israel, and uh, bring forth his kingdom. You know what I'm saying? The revival of the Roman Empire. This is Ezekiel 36:5, which reads, "Therefore, thus said Yahweh power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, Esau, Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession." with joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. Yeah, he's appointed this land into his possession. He came and took the land that was appointed into the northern kingdom, the nation of Israel, came over here, conquered it, and took it into his own possession. You know what I'm saying? And the scriptures expose him for who he is. You know, and this is what he hates. You know, but the Lord had raised up the men in these last days to expose him and give you warning of him and the things that are to come. You know, so he's being uh, exposed as the Lord said he was going to cover his secret places in these last days. You know what I'm saying? Esau Edom is being exposed for the son of perdition, and that he is Satan, Satan in the flesh. You know, and his his deception is being revealed through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, through the scriptures that the Lord has, appointed men to expose this devil. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the end of his kingdom. This is Jeremiah 50 and 31, which reads, "Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, Esau Edom, saith Yahweh Shema Shai of hosts, for thy day is come that the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him." Yeah, he's going to destroy this place. All the cities, what I'm saying? This place is going to be, turned into the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to destroy it in his coming. Because this place is, pretty much has been created, to be an altar and a prison camp into the nation of Israel. And the Lord is, going to burn this place into a crisp and use it as an altar and give judgment and punishment, not only to the heathens, but also 2/3 of his own people. You know what I'm saying? For, taking upon the ways of this devil. And, that's going to be their judgment. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has already appointed 2/3 to be destroyed here in Babylon. And, the Lord is going to destroy also, the heathens of the other nations, and especially Esau Edom, and his coming. Reading on, thus says Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Yeah, and this is the captivity that the Lord has chose for Judah and Israel to be oppressed together. This is the last captivity, that we're going to face, because this is talking about our future prophecy, and this is the time that we're, fulfilling that prophecy in this land, so-called America. You know what I'm saying? That we'll be oppressed together by our enemy, and the Lord is going to rescue us out of this thing, and He's going to save the hopeful elect, in these days. But first, there's many things that got to take place. The mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. You know what I'm saying? World War III. Jacob's trouble. All these things are going to come into play. You know what I'm saying? As we serve out, this captivity together, the northern and southern kingdom. Reading on, their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that they may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Yeah, so-called America today. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, Esau Edom, because he's in the power seat at this point. He's referred to as the Chaldeans, saith Yahweh, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, all the people that are inhabited here in so-called America, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses and upon their chariots, meaning their armies. The Lord is going to destroy, along with the top tiers of people. You know what I'm saying? That a part of the military, a part of the you know um, legislation, you know what I'm saying? The the top rulers of, Babylon, you know what I'm saying? But, the Lord is going to preserve, the elite so we can take them, into captivity. But, a lot of, these individuals, they're going to be destroyed in this time. But, those that survive, we're going to, round them up and take into servitude. They're going to be taken into captivity, because they're going to go and they're going to hide. And then, we're going to bring them out of their hiding places and, let them know that, this is our kingdom and it's your turn to be go into captivity. But reading on, upon the chariots and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as a woman, a sword is upon them, her treasures, and they shall be robbed. Yeah, they're going to become as a woman because they're going to be in fear, of all the things that are taking place in these last days when the Lord is, bringing great judgment and destruction upon this place. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are made upon their idols. Yeah, this is the land of graven images. Beginning first and foremost with so-called Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? He's a made-up idol that these many of our, even our own people of the nation of Israel worship. You know what I'm saying? And as well as the other heathen, going into and you're serving these other gods. You're serving Satan. You know what I'm saying? You're serving Baal. You know what I'm saying? You serve so-called Jesus Christ. You serve Allah, you know what I'm saying, Buddha, and they tell you in so-called America, you can serve any god that you want, you know what I'm saying? They don't push for, you know, the God of the Israel, you know what I'm saying? They've made up their own doctrine and created their own gods and tell you that, God just love everybody, no matter what God you serve, he still love you, that's false, because the Lord only love his own people. He don't love these heathens, you know what I'm saying? He says Esau how he hated, you know what I'm saying? He hates so-called white people. You Edomites, you know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to destroy you. And it's coming, and he's going to give you a just due for what you did to his people. But let's read on. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert and with the wild beasts of the inland shall dwell there, and the owl shall dwell there. It's like it, and the owl shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Yeah, because the Lord is going to completely destroy this place, showing you that if the modern day Babylons don't exist, so this has to be talking about a future Babylon. So the Lord said it's not going to be inhabited from generation to generation. So it has to be talking about the modern day Babylon or the daughter of Babylon, which is America. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Lord is making this reference to, because this is talking about a future prophecy. As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna be here anymore. This place is created to be an altar to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be a grave site. You know what I'm saying? To let us know that look at this is the place that we were held in captivity to the basis of men, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be set up as a memorial because and we're going to laugh at the shit that took place in this land. Like, damn, this devil actually had us, you know what I'm saying, in captivity. This weak man that's, a servant, the lowest of all, the basis of men, the lowest of all men on the face of the earth, who was created to be a slave. You know what I'm saying? But this place is going to be obliviated, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be, a graveyard, a gravesite, you know what I'm saying? The Lord has created this to be an altar. America has been created to be a prison to the, a prison for the nation of Israel. That's the whole purpose of this place, you know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord sent the Northern Kingdom over here. That's why the Lord sent, this devil, Christopher Colombo, over here to conquer them as part of the punishment. And the Lord, put the spirit on them to come gather us from the west coast of Africa to bring us here, You know what I'm saying, to this land as well to serve out this punishment and this, the last captivity that, the Lord was going to have before he come. And he's going to obliviate this place in his coming, you know what I'm saying, and, save the elect out of it. So a remnant shall be saved. And those are, the people of the nation of Israel, that's of the hopeful elect, that the Lord's going to save out of this, you know, captivity in his coming. So this place, so-called America, was created for a purpose, and its purpose, is pretty much been fulfilled, or it's at its end. You know what I'm saying? It's been fulfilled. And that's why all these things are happening now. You see with the mark of the beast and World War III and chariot sightings and the raising up of the nation of Israel, coming into their own and remembering who they are as a people. Showing you that we're in the end of the end days, and that this modern day Babylon is going to be destroyed, because like I said earlier, the Babylon, in the world still exists, but this says that this place would not exist anymore from generation to generation. So it couldn't have been talking about that Babylon. It has to be talking about this one. So America is in the scriptures, as you can see. So-called America is in the scriptures, as you can see, and it's going to be destroyed in the coming of the day of the Lord. It's going to be great judgment, get brought upon this earth, especially this place. So that's pretty much it. I hope this lesson been edifying. Just want to say, call all your high about Shema Shai, call my Shabbat, blah blah blah, Shalom.